Hi everyone, I'm going to start this video today. I'm indoors, I'm in the kitchen. Just made myself a nice cuppa. I'm going to go outside in a minute to do some work on George. And it's very cold, a bit damp. Anyway, as you can see by the title, George has broken down again. Yeah. Took me a few minutes to find out what was going on and sussed out what it was. Yep, the coil again. If you remember, a few weeks ago I had a problem with the coil and I found one up in the shed. I weren't sure what that was off, whether that was supposed to be one used with a ballast. But anyway, I stuck it on and it's been working absolutely fine until 2 days ago. I was coming in from work and I thought I just need to get some petrol in George. Went in the garage, came out with a full tank, driving absolutely lovely, almost got home, suddenly he died. But what's going on? So I quickly managed to get in a bit of a lay-by. It's not a real lay-by, just like a parking space on a main road. Thought, that's weird. Always when you just put petrol in, something goes wrong here. So first thought is maybe the fuel pump's playing up, there's no fuel getting through. Tried to start him a couple of times, he weren't having it. So popped the bonnet open, had a fiddle around. As you know, I can start George from under the bonnet. Tried to start him, he would start, and immediately I touched the accelerator, he'd stop. Or if I left him ticking over for more than a minute, it would stop. There was plenty of fuel in the carburetor. I took the plug lead off, turned the key, I was getting a spark. So I thought, what the heck's going on? Thought I'll leave him for a little while and see what happened, because I was in a hurry to get home, so I had work. Anyway, I went back at the dinner time, tried to start him, exactly the same thing. He'd fire up, tick over. If you tried to touch the accelerator, it stopped. Had a look under the bonnet, same thing. He'd tick over for about a minute and then stop. So I thought, I wonder whether that coil is playing up. So I still had the coil I removed in the boot, which would work, but that would be very spluttery and misfire. Anyway, I connected that and immediately George ran. So I knew it was the coil. Got home, limped him home, ordered another coil, and that's what I've got here, which has just come in this packaging here. This one is a 12 volt coil, suitable for George, and it's also suitable for cars with Aquaspark electronic ignition, because this is an Aquaspark coil, so that'll be fine. So what I'm going to do is go outside now. I'll show you what I've done to get home when we look under the bonnet, but sometimes you have to do these things. And what we'll do, we'll put this coil on and then we'll see if that solves the problem. I did read up on coils a little while ago, and people are saying all different things. Nowadays you can't get a coil what'll last. So like I say, the one I put on, I found in the shed, was pretty old, so I'm hoping this one will sort out the problem. Right, so let's get outside and sort that out. Like I said, I managed to get George home, parked him on the front of the drive, and he was running really rough, and as you can see, pretty damp. He's been sitting here a couple of days now. I will see if he'll fire up this morning and move him down near the garage. That's if he will fire up. Bit of a nuisance really, isn't it? Everything's been running fine, and then something else goes wrong. But that's what happens with old cars, I find. There's always something. But this coil business is very strange. Oh, I'm going to need some choke. Well, it's fired up. And as you can hear, it's misfiring like anything. Pretty rough. Right, I'm just going to move him down my drive. Very damp, look at this. Something wet inside, George. Surprised he even started. You couldn't really drive him like this. Well, you could, but I wouldn't recommend going far like this. Rough as guts. Right, let's jump out and have a look under the bonnet. Pull the bonnet. Yeah, I'll keep running. Now look at that setup. Obviously this is the coil I found in the shed. It does say it's a 12-volt coil, but maybe it was even in my shed because it played up on a car before, and that's why I changed it. It sounds terrible. But I managed to get the other coil back on, the original one what was on here. I stuck all this tape on just to stop it from falling off while I got him home. That was only about 2 miles. Which, if I put this other coil on, or when I put the other coil on in a minute, I will keep that one in the boot, because that may have to get me home another time. You just never know, do you? Can't believe how cold it is today. Rightio, so get some spanners and I'll whip that off and put the other one on. Right, so I took all that old tape off there to get this out. What I'll do, I'll connect up these cables onto this coil and I'll just show you what was going on, if that'll even run. Okay, so I reconnected the coil that let me down the other day. Ignition is on. It's not even going to fire. It did try a minute ago. A little bit more choke just in case. No, that don't want to know, does it? So that old coil is dead. Turn the ignition off. We'll put the new one on. Now this particular coil has got like spade connectors on where you can push the wires on, but because mine have got the eyelets, I'll just put them over the top, but I'll leave them there because I'll only lose them. I might need them at a later date, but you never know. So there's them on. Next I just need to connect the HT into the top. That's going to be quite tight, isn't it? I may drop that coil down a touch by loosening this pinch bolt here. Just drop that down. I'll see if I can do that now. just so that cable won't be so tight. Okay guys, everything is connected up. Well, immediately that sounds better. That's better. So what's going on with these coils? Who knows? Right, pack this up. That one can go in the bin. The other one I'll put in the boot as a spare again. And what we should do now is go for a test drive. Right, I'll get cleared up and we'll go. Rightio. Let's see how George runs. He's already running better than he was the other day, I can tell you. Got the blower on, obviously. The heat is already coming out a little. It's been running. Yeah, slightly. It don't take long to heat up. Oh, it's good to get you back on the road, George. Put it on. It definitely seems absolutely fine now. George is right up to temperature now. It's running absolutely fine. Like I say, I really don't know exactly what was going on. Whether it was because the coil was already playing up, that's why it was in the garage, took off something else years ago, or is it a ballast coil, so the voltage need to be reduced. Or is George just killing coils? Who knows? Now I know there's a way of testing a coil with the multimeter, the ohms. But when a coil's not working, and you put a different coil on and it is working, it tells me that there's a problem with the coil. So I don't need to do that. I'll keep driving a bit more, and in a minute I'll come to the place where George broke down. Like I said, he'd been running fine. Just to the right of this roundabout, I filled up the fuel. So I came out, I came back this way, running fine. Somewhere along here is when I decided to stick the music on, stick the stereo on. I was going to say radio, it isn't. Radio's not working, so I stuck the CD on. And I was happily singing to myself, singing along with the music. George was still running fine. I had no there in my mind that it's going to be a problem. Just like he is now, he was running perfect. Turned right at these lights, got to about here, and the radio suddenly started changing. Like, you hear the engine noise, you know, when you get electrical interference with your radio, and suddenly George started spluttering. I thought, that's weird. Loss of power, it was misfiring. So I switched off the radio, and it was still running really crap, it was still running really rough, and harder and harder to keep him running. I thought, oh no, immediately I thought, that's going to be something to do with the fuel. I've just filled up. And I just basically pulled away like this, and he died. Coasted to this little lay-by here where I'm now going to park. Coasted into here, but just managed to get here. This is right where George died. I had to leave him here, like I said. I came back later to see whether he'd fire up. He did exactly the same thing. This is where I changed the coil to the spare one in the boot later in the day, and that obviously got me home. So touch wood, everything seems like it's going okay at the minute. I've got some more bits and bobs I need to show you, but I'll do that in the next video. I bought some bits. I'm going to do something with the bus, Bertie bus, which I'll show you in the next video. And I've also bought something for George, something that needs doing. Like I say, that will be in the next video. So I'm going to leave this one from here, nearly back to mine. So thanks for watching, guys. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye for now.